Hello, everyone. A dense fog advisory has been extended, both in time and aerial coverage. I'll have the latest on what it looks like out there. I'll have the latest in your forecast details coming up. You're watching Hutch's Weather.
Now, a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
And here's what you need to know with regard to the fog advisory. It was expired at about 6 o'clock, but it's been extended into the morning hours as we head into the overnight hours. So here's what we're looking at. The area of dark gray here that extends from the Canadian border through North Dakota, Minot, Bismarck, Grand Forks, Fargo, and now it extends all the way out towards Lake of the Woods, Bemidji, Park Rapids, Wadena counties as well. Now, it extends all the way down through the Sioux Falls area into parts of Nebraska, all the way down to the Kansas border with Nebraska. So this is an extensive area of fog, and we've been talking about it here on Hutch's Weather for some time. Now, the colored circles you see here, the red ones, are less than 1/2 of a mile of visibility. In some spots, it's near zero. Let me show you. We're going to start in South Dakota right quick at the Department of Transportation's page there and show you what it looks like for travelers along the I-29 corridor. So let's go down as far south as Brookings. What's it look like there? You tell me. That's some soupy air out there. You want to give yourself stopping distance between you and the car in front of you. Is that an anomaly? No, here's another one. This is Sisseton, right near the border with North Dakota, and it's the same thing as we see very reduced visibility there across the eastern reaches of South Dakota. Okay, let's sneak into Minnesota then and see what we're looking at for travelers there. A quick view showing that we do have the areas with the fog advisory in purple. That's what that means. Now, where we see the pink roads near the Thief River Falls zone, those are completely ice-covered roads. But as far as what does it look like on Interstate 94 right now, as we get out into the Fergus Falls area, we do have some areas with some fog and reduced visibility out there. This fog is formed in the skies, and some of these cloud droplets are liquid, and those cloud droplets that are liquid can freeze, and that's called freezing fog. It sticks on things like your telephone poles, maybe even on your car's windshield when the heater's not on. So it's making things very slippery out there, some of it actually forming on the road surface. Looking elsewhere on the Highway 2 corridor, as we get out towards Crookston and Fisher, we can actually see some snot sliding through the air here. So this is really causing some slippery roads, and from time to time we're getting even a few flurries that reduce visibility greatly, even in town in Fargo. I personally experienced that while driving through town today. So you got to slow down. You got to give yourself extra distance between the cars and vehicles on the roads. Speaking of the roads, let's check out North Dakota roads. The North Dakota DOT, these purple areas here, these counties have a travel alert for icy roads and some dense fog. But the fog advisory is for the entire area, and we do have a lot of foggy conditions out there. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek and see what we're seeing on the roads in North Dakota. The areas that you see with yellow roads here, those are ice-covered roads. So we do have icy conditions across. And there's been just numbers and numerous crashes, even in the FM area, from the event going on today with our fog that we've been talking about here for some time. Here's a look at the Verona area. This is North Dakota 13. We have some foggy conditions there. It almost just looks soupy, like you'll need to use the windshield wipers. They may slap in tempo or out of tempo. That doesn't matter. It's really something where you have to slow down. Here's a look at the Oriska exit at I-94. This is not far from Valley City. West Fargo, more of the same soupy skies over North Dakota right now. Earlier when I looked, as we looked out towards the Bismarck area, as you get out into Kidder County, it's just really sick out there. Soupy and icy as well. The Highway 200 corridor has been very foggy as well, as we take a look at a couple of shots. This is actually Highway 52 near Fessenden in the Wells County area, McCluskey area. As we look out into Sheridan County, we're seeing more of the same. So really, just about anywhere that you're traveling across eastern North Dakota tonight, you're going to run into some areas with some dense fog. This is way up north, and we see, those are not precipitation streaks. Those are the frost accumulation on the power lines there on the side of the road. So this is some of that frost or freezing fog that we're seeing develop across the region. Now, as you go all the way up into northwest parts of North Dakota in the oil patch, we still have solid icy roads there. Let's talk a little bit about our forecast, shall we? Let's go right down to the look at the radar. And here is a look at what we're seeing with regards to that. There's not a lot to be concerned about on the radar. The radar is not picking up a lot of this snow. So in our area, we're fairly quiet as far as that goes. Get out towards the Fort Peck area, Montana. There's a few echoes showing up out there. Here is a look at our temperatures across the region right now, and you can see that we do have sub-freezing temperatures across most of the region. Minot, Williston, Bismarck are all near 30 degrees. Let me pause this on the most recent hourly update here. And what you will notice as we cross into the 8 o'clock hour here now is that our temperatures have really been below freezing for the majority of the day out here. We're 1 degree up there in the Winkler area, so it's super cold up there still. That means it's just downright icy. Now you're going to transition out of that towards freezing conditions near Bismarck, but look at that. Those temperatures are now coming down as well after hitting well into the 40s today out in the southwestern corner of the state. So that's where the warmest weather is, as we talked about a little bit earlier. Here's a look at the forecast just real quickly. The main thing to keep in mind is we're going to be concerned about fog. Each and every day this week, there will be a chance of fog. As this warm air comes in, the story is this. It's going to slowly erode and work its way eastward a little bit more each day, kind of scrubbing out the molasses of this cold, dense air mass in place. Also, as it warms up the snowbanks here that are sitting on the ground, that will help mitigate the fog chances in the area. But for now, these south winds are going to continue to bring the chances of fog right here to our area. Now, let's take a look at our forecast model, but we're going to look just at this fog because that's going to be the persistent problem that we'll be contending with over the next several days. Now, as we take a look at a model that gets us well out into your Christmas Eve and even into Christmas Day, here's what we got. This is a look at the precipitation and the wind. South winds, breezy at times. That's going to help to bring moist air into the area over the snowbanks. We may get a chance to see some breaks in the fog, particularly in our westernmost counties as we go through the day. But notice there's no weather wiggles bringing precipitation chances right through Christmas Day here in the valley. Now let's take a look at our visibility. Visibility colors here show us where the visibility is reduced. And if we take a look and scroll at some of the numbers, we're under a half of a mile here on the forecast model. As we go through the night tonight, thick, dense, patchy fog around the area, most of the area as a matter of fact. By your Christmas Eve morning, tomorrow morning, fog chances will be most likely in the eastern third of the Dakotas and into most of Minnesota as we go through the day. Travel anywhere is going to be really slowed because of the fog and icy conditions. As we go through the day, like I said, there may be some erosion of the fog as we go through the midday hour and early afternoon, but once temperatures peak and start coming down, whoop, it starts building right back in. So it's another foggy one out there for the Jolly Elf and his guide, Rudolph. Thank goodness he has a very bright nose and can help through the fogginess that's going on as we go into your Christmas morning. Fog, eastern Dakotas, almost all of Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, will bring tricky travel in the morning hours. There'll be some erosion. Notice how it's scaling back and a little bit farther to the east each and every day as we warm up those snowbanks in the eastern third of North Dakota. But still, a chance of fog each and every day as we go through the week. All right, let's take a look at what it looks like on your planning forecast with the digits as we go through your morning tomorrow. That's on Tuesday morning. Here's what you can expect. Temperatures will be coldest in our northern counties. I think we're going to see some of you with temperatures down there in those low teens, single digits, not out of the question in Walhalla to Winkler. So this model's out to lunch a little bit up there. We talked about that earlier as well. Temperatures near 17 Fargo, teens down in parts of west central Minnesota as well, including Fergus Falls. And look at the heat is going to be on as we look out to the west. That's in the morning time hours. Here's your afternoon snapshot at about 4 o'clock. Look at the heat, 40s to 50s in central South Dakota. We start seeing that warmer air spread ever so slightly more east into the Bismarck area. Now, it's not going to make it all the way into the James River Valley. Simply too much snow on the ground, particularly as we get north of Interstate 94 rather. 20s here for Grand Forks, 20s for Fargo, and that means some slippery roads. But 20s are warm enough to allow the roads to be white, and some of the treated roads will actually be wet. So keep that in mind as you go through the mid-afternoon hours. At night, it freezes back up again. Temperatures each and every day will have a chance at breaking into above freezing temperatures Thursday for many, Friday for most here in the Southern Valley. And that's a a real good bet. So as we go through, fog every morning is going to be a possibility. Our next weather wiggle Friday night into Saturday as temperatures warm into the mid-30s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looks like a cooler slap of weather as we head into the new year, and that means we start the new year off with some changes. More on that coming here. You're watching Hutch's Weather. I wish you all a very, very happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. Please travel safely and check hutchesweather.com anytime, no matter when you're there, for the latest in your road conditions, interactive radar, and forecast updates. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful holiday. I'll check in a little bit here and there throughout Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to keep you ahead of the fog, but it is going to be a problem each day.